Hey Moonies! Welcome to the Sailor Moon Fan Club podcast. I'm your host, Victoria L. Johnson, and I'm here with Erika Hardison. She's the founder of Fabulize Magazine, an online and print magazine covering entertainment, lifestyle, and culture for the blurred womanist. She's also releasing a crime noir New Jack Swing era graphic novel. And I love all of those words, so I really want to talk to her about that. Hey Erika, welcome to the Sailor Moon Fan Club podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. I am such a fan. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. And also, I didn't mention, actually, you were the first person to interview me for this podcast. I didn't realize that. I forgot about that till now.
Oh, you know what? To be honest, I saw it come across, when you was talking about it on Twitter. I was like, you know what? This is it right here. And this is the type of content that I live for, that I know that the audience of Fabulize will absolutely love. This is it right here. You didn't even have to convince me. I didn't even have to hear an episode. I just knew I was going to follow and listen and retweet it when it comes across my timeline.
Well, I appreciate all the support, and I feel the same way about Fabulize. I think I told you before, but I went to the Black Panther event y'all had when Black Panther came out like a few years ago. And so I've just been a fan for a really long time, so it's really exciting.
Oh, thank you. People still talk about that event and be like, yo, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could be able to pull something like that off, but it just kind of goes to show how important community is, especially like the Black nerd community. We have to kind of like look out for each other and just like, we kind of like move as a community, centering Black women and marginalized genders in the nerd community. Sometimes they're often marginalized even amongst other Black nerds. So I wanted to make a space for Black women and Black marginalized people to feel safe and nerdy and, celebrate their fandom without feeling like they have to be on a defense all the time.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that. That's kind of part of the reason why I have this podcast too, because just bringing together a lot of Black Sailor Moon fans and just having a space for us.
And isn't it so cool? Because it's like, you never really realize how many people will like you like the same thing you like until you start talking about it. Now look at you, your podcast is popping.
Hey.
You got celebrities on a podcast. Like, you just don't know. Like, Black girls have been standing Sailor Moon forever, and like, I feel like you give them the outlet to like really stand the way they want to, and that's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, well, same to you. It's it's great that we can come together and just both be like championing for black nerd women and Black women.
Yes, absolutely love it.
Yeah. So speaking of Sailor Moon, though, what's your first memory of watching Sailor Moon?
So it was definitely in the late 90s. I would get up really early, and I remember I would get up like really early, like 5:45 in the morning, and I flipped on a channel and I just saw like Deke. It was a Deke cartoon or something, a program, and I was like, what is this? And then next thing I knew, I saw the colors, and that's when I saw my first episode of Sailor Moon. I mean, of course, it was the North American version, but I would get up extra early every day just to watch Sailor Moon, and I was into it. And once I realized that the creator of Sailor Moon was influenced by the Power Rangers, it all made sense to me. And I was like, you know what? I can see the comparisons, but this is way better than Sailor Moon. So Sailor Moon was just it for me. Like, I watched one episode and was just hooked.
Yeah, those colors are so mesmerizing. It's definitely part of what drew me in too. And just, I don't know, yeah. I also learned later on that it was inspired by Power Rangers, and it like kind of clicked because I was also a Power Rangers fan at the time, but I agree, Sailor Moon's better.
Absolutely. I mean, I was a Power Rangers too, especially like the first season that I saw, when I was a kid. But Sailor Moon, it was just something about Sailor Moon, like the colors, the storyline, just a whole bunch of girls kicking butt. And just, the different personalities they had, like, Sailor Moon / Serena, at least for the American version. She was like klutzy, insecure, clumsy a little bit, sometimes a little skittish, but at the same time, she had all this power and she was able to work with a team, her fellow scouts to defeat evil. And I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was really cool, just like having her defeat evil and like be badass and just really cool and look awesome. And I don't know, yeah, it was all fun stuff. Do you have any favorite moments that you liked?
I definitely like how, Tuxedo Man is like a fixture, but he's not really the savior. Now I know Megan Thee Stallion said that she doesn't like Sailor Moon because like Tuxedo Man seems like he's like this, savior or something like that. But he's not really like that. Like I can see if someone didn't really watch it all the time come to that conclusion, but like he was more, I feel like, just a physical embodiment of her conscience, like to get it together, Serena, and just do what you have to do, as opposed to like coming to save her when she's in trouble the most.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say I think it's Tuxedo Mask, but I love Tuxedo Man, and that totally should have been the name.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking, like, I'm seeing his face in my brain. Tuxedo Man.
You're good, because that is so funny. And honestly, like, we make fun of him so much on this show, so it's perfectly fine.
He was kind of like a bully, too.
Yeah, he was that, especially in the anime. But I love that you called him a physical embodiment of, like, her, like, subconscious, because he was kind of like that emotional support, like, hey, stop crying, get it together. Like, you can defeat this monster, you got this. And she was like, oh yeah, you're right. And he was like, all right, I'm out. Like, and that was valuable for her.
Yeah, it was, now I can't remember the age difference between him and her.
Oh.
I don't know if it's like 3 years or 5 years. But he
think
definitely kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
I think he definitely soft bullied her a little bit, calling her, meathead and stuff like that, making fun of her, teasing her. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it now as an adult. As when I was a kid, I thought it was funny.
It is definitely, there's definitely a lot of things that you kind of have to, I wouldn't say ignore, but like, it's like take with a grain of salt and just, I don't know, accept it for what it is, or just like, or accept that, this is trash, this is good, we can maybe have both in this situation.
Oh, definitely. Like, I think overall anime could be problematic, but that doesn't stop me from watching.
Right? Yeah. I think that's the thing. I forgot someone else on this podcast is just like, sometimes it's just like, it's anime. That's just the reason, and that's acceptable. like, oh, this is kind of weird, or oh, this is bad. It's like, it's anime. You just some things you just accept when it's anime that you don't accept elsewhere.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite Sailor Scout / Senshi?
It would definitely be Sailor Mars. Like, I feel like she is very strong, and I like that she has like this, darkness to her, because she has like those psychic powers, and she is like very strong, very kick-ass. I don't know, for some reason I feel like if she was an astrological sign, she would be a Sagittarius. I don't know why. But I like her a lot. And I mean, I like all of them, but she's definitely my favorite.
I think she's an Aries, but is that close to Sagittarius? I can't
No, but it is a
remember.
fire sign, so I'll take it.
Yeah, it is a fire sign. Yeah, it's totally. That's so funny. But yeah, totally, definitely, also badass, and just like you're right about the darkness about her. Like she's like these powers and the crows, and she works in like the temple and dark hair. Like she's a really cool scout. I want to talk about you because you're also really cool. How did you come up with Fabulize Magazine?
You know, to be completely frank and honest, like the name Fabulize, people always say, "Oh my God, that sounds so beautiful. Where do you get the name from?" And you know, I guess as a true nerd, I got it from The Simpsons. So this is episode on The Simpsons where Lisa gets dressed up and like she's like in pearls and she does her hair and she's on the schoolyard and Milhouse says, "Oh, why are you dressed up?" or something like that. And she's like, "Can a girl just fabulize herself?" And so I was like, if I have a magazine, I'm gonna name it Fabulize, because why can't you just fabulize yourself? And that's kind of like been like the slogan ever since. And like only one person actually picked it up, that I got the name from The Simpsons, and that is former U.S. Senator Carol Moseley Braun.
Wow.
It was so funny because I interviewed her for the last issue. She was actually a cover story, and she was like, "Fabulize, like from The Simpsons."
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I'm so surprised at how many like U.S. women senators are actual like nerds. It's so cool.
Yeah, I've been like on edge trying to find a senator or a representative who's a Sailor Moon fan. I'm like, I know there's
You're gonna
one.
find it. You're gonna find it.
There's one. Yeah.
I mean, I just found out that Stacey Abrams is like a hardcore sci-fi fan. Like I knew she wrote romance books and novels, but I didn't know she was a sci-fi fan.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Now I gotta check and see if she's a Sailor Moon fan.
She might be. She really might be.
Man, that would be awesome. I thought for a second that AOC might be one because she's kind of younger and she grew up around, like she's around the age where like Sailor Moon was on when she would have been younger, and I'm like, it's possible. It's possible, but she's never mentioned Sailor Moon, at least on Twitter. So I'm like, one day
you might have to like ask her, just outright ask her.
I know. I just might. I think I've tagged her in something before, but she hasn't responded. But one day I'm gonna ask her.
You're gonna find them. Trust me. They're there. They are there. Trust me. So I started my my first issue while I was in college. Actually did my first photo shoot on college campus. And I've just been going ever since. Like I've had a lot of ups and downs. You know, publishing a magazine, it sounds good in theory, but it's definitely harder than what people think it is, especially now with social media being so important. You want to get out there. You know, people are really into content and visuals, and a cover in your stories can make or break your issue. And I was intimidated for a long time. I figured that I was making the magazine for myself, but I was scared to release it. You know, I was scared to like share it and market it and talk about it publicly, because I felt like it wasn't good enough when, you know, it is good enough because people read it and people buy it. So, you know, now I'm a little bit more confident. It's taken a while, but you know, slowly but surely, you know, I'm sharing my baby more to the world, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm happy you are, because I was able to find you and I enjoy it. And yeah, it's just great because it is a great magazine. So I'm happy you're seeing that more often. You're welcome. Have you had a favorite like piece that you wrote or favorite interview you've done so far?
I feel like every issue I have a different favorite interview. I think this, you know, not to sound like I'm plugging it like
No, go
on
for
purpose, but I feel like this issue is like the issue. Like this is a great issue where um it definitely feels like a a rebrand. Like, I mean, it's not an actual rebrand, but it's like a great announcement to people who have never seen the magazine. You know, I have like a lot of heavy hitting talent in the issue. Like the cover story, we have Ashley Nicole Black from Black Lady Sketch, and we have just a lot of good Black women talent across entertainment and sci-fi authors. And I am really excited about it. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm ready for the world to see it. So when it comes out next month, I definitely will be sharing it and irritating people on social media to share my magazine link.
Yes. What day does it come out on?
I'm going to do the first week of February. So realistically, probably like February the 5th or the 6th.
Okay. All right. Well, I think this episode may come out during that week or after that. So either way, I will drop a link in the description when it's out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And
That'd
so
be
people
so cool.
can get it and know where to
Yay!
go. Yay. So that sounds really cool. I'm really excited for that. And I like it.
Thank you.
Now, on top of your magazine, you are also writing a graphic novel, which sounds awesome already. Well, what's it about, first of all, and like how did you come up with the idea?
Well, okay, so it's a story behind it, and you know, the pandemic has really like, you know, hindered and also kind of like changed course of how people operate, navigate, network, find work. And I really want to start writing more fiction. I'm mostly known as a journalist and, you know, producing a magazine, but I also would love to write fiction and novels and short stories and stuff like that. So I also contribute to Publisher Weekly, and Book Riot. And someone in one of my work slacks, they shared this Kickstarter link, and the Kickstarter link was like, you know, Nora's the New Black, and that was the name of it. And it was a description of like this Nora graphic novel that's coming out that's on Kickstarter that needs funded for like $30,000 or $50,000. I forgot what that number was, and it promised to produce a graphic novel with 30-something artists and writers who are going to write noir stories. So it was like all Black talent, all Black writers, all Black artists writing like noir stories. So I saw it, I was like, damn, this looks really cool. So let me go ahead and back it. So I clicked the link and I backed it. And I was like, I was just looking at the list of, you know, who's going to be in it. And I saw like David Walker, who's like really known for like Marvel and DC stuff. And I saw like some other heavy hitter names like Melody Cooper, who wrote Omni #1, and I was like, wow, this is like a lot of important people on this project. So, you know, I was like, I want to write a comic. So I sent the email and I was like, hey, you know, I'm back in this project. I think it's really cool. I see that you have a long list of talent, you know, on this book, but I would also like to contribute a comic book story if you have the room, but also, you know, be aware that I've never written a comic book before. I'm a journalist. I've never written a comic. I've never written a script. So, you know, if you have room for me, I would definitely appreciate it if you could, you know, consider me, and I can send you, pitch you some outlines and some stories and see what, was of interest. And the publisher of Fair Square Comics, Fabrice, he actually did Spider-Man Noir at Marvel. So he's like a really big noir fan. Like he's like a noir fanatic. And he said, hey, we don't really have any room. We have like all these people who are interested. But if a space opens, we'll hit you up. So some time went by and I was like, hey, here's a story that I'm interested in pitching. And you just let me know if my ideas even sound something that you'll be interested in. We had a couple meetings. We talked about it. Some people couldn't commit. So space opened and it was like, bam, you got a spot. And I was like, word. So I was like, cool. They sent the contract. I signed it. I was so hyped. And then the process came to, write a comic. So they told me they was going to give me 5 or 6 pages. And I was like, 5 or 6 pages? That's nothing. That's like an essay. That's nothing. Like, because, 5 or 6 pages written, writing is like not a big deal. Mm-hmm. But writing a comic book is like a completely different animal. So they basically kind of like had to, guide me by holding my hand, basically, and, helping me understand and like wire my brain on the concept of writing comics. It wasn't easy. Like I probably revised my comic book story maybe 10 times, even though it's like now it's a 6-page comic, my, pages was like 8, 9, 10 pages long, like, the submitting it. So, it was hard. I really thought they was going to dump me, to be honest. I was like, can't do it. I can't do it. No, it's too hard. So, we finally got it together and I finally, found a flow that worked because, that matters too. Like, because I'm not a comic book writer, I write like a novelist because that's all I know how to do. Like write just what you know. But it's completed. It is beautiful, as people have seen on Twitter. The artist, her name is Karen. She's based in Italy, and she likes Sailor Moon too. So yeah, she likes Sailor Moon and she likes pinup art, and she does a lot of BDSM art as well. So she was able to bring that sexiness to the crime. So my comic in the book, Noir is the New Black, is called Entanglement, and it is based in Chicago in 1991. Is a very colorful New Jack Swing era comic. It deals with music and murder and power and lust. And it's queer. It's a queer story as well. So there's a queer love story between our heroine. She's dating this up and coming songstress from Chicago, and the songstress, she is questioning her employer. She doesn't know if she's getting paid right, and comes to find out that her employer is like this big boss gang leader of Chicago. And it's just like, drama after drama, and she is just trying to, be a singer and love her high school sweetheart, but there's just too many things in play for her to do that.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, and I am excited. A few things. I love that you shot your shot. I love that they were so open to you as like a new fiction writer, and were like willing to like help you get there, because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you're new, I'm not trying to like spend the time and like teach you and And I thought that was really cool. Also, I looked up the project and I backed it.
See, the world is so small.
That is so funny. I was just like, oh snap, I backed this project. I like did not remember.
Oh, yo,
But
so
yeah.
you're gonna get your book. So are you gonna? I don't remember the tier. So are you gonna get a book, a flyer? What you gonna get?
Let's see. What did I do? I definitely, if I backed it, I always back it to get a book. But I don't know if I backed it to get a PDF or a physical. So let's see. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to view my pledge. I'll check it later, maybe. View pledge. It's taking forever.
That is so cool.
Oh, okay. So I think PDF. So I backed it for the PDF because I'm trying to like not buy all the books anymore.
It's so hard. It is so hard. It is so hard, especially like when you see like really awesome stuff. Like I'll be like on Twitter and then like it'll be like a black artist, an indie artist post some beautiful art and like, oh, here's my new comic book, and I'll be like, damn it, I'm about to buy this again. Like
yeah, I had to stop because I kept like ordering all these books and I was like, I wasn't even able to like read all of them in time, and I'm like I have this like large stack of like books I haven't even got to, and I'm like, okay, just buy the PDF, like you can always get the physical later if you really like it, like just go with that and save money and stop buying all these books. But yay, so I'm happy that I backed it, so I will get it whenever it is ready and I'll be able to read your awesome story along with everyone else because I'm also a big David Walker fan too, and I'm a fan of you.
Oh,
so
I love David Walker's work. I feel like I still punch myself in the face for not like jumping on Nighthawk when it first launched in Marvel.
Yeah.
I felt like I only kind of like got whiff of it towards the end of the run right before it was canceled, but it is such a good comic book.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I ended up reading it after the trade came out and it was already canceled, and I was just like, this is the best thing ever. I want more. Yeah, it's one of my favorite comic books as well. I liked his Luke Cage and Iron Fist too.
Yes, and the Naomi for DC Comics is really cool too.
I actually haven't got to read that yet, but it's been on my list for a long time. I bought I think the first 3 issues, and that's also on my back burner. One day. And I also love crime noir. I don't know. Were you a fan of crime noir before this?
Yes. I like, so when it comes to like, I mean, like I feel like Batman is crime noir basically. And Dick Tracy and Jessica Jones, like, and I love Jessica Jones. So I am a big fan of crime noir. I just wanted to add like a really I wanted to make something really dramatic and something kind of like bloody in a colorful scheme, if that makes any sense.
It does, and I'm excited to see it because I like both of those things, so I'm excited to see them together because I love some colorful things, but I also love, I don't know, crime noir and stuff.
Yeah, because when I was talking to Karen, I was like, you gotta make it really bloody. Like, I don't want to see guts and everything and blood everywhere. But, like, she has to wear an 8-ball jacket. Like, it has to be really colorful, you know? Yeah. So my influence was Queen Latifah, MC Lyte.
Yes.
Tony, SWV, and...
I feel like TLC should be in there.
And, well, there's a TLC. That's actually, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because, like, there is a panel in my comic where we mentioned TLC on the radio. So it's all there. It is, look, it's a throwback for real.
I love it. Well, you know, my name is Miss Old School on all socials, so that is my jam. Like, that is everything for me. So I am all about this. That is so cool. I'm really excited, and I really need to get your artist on the show too. If she's a Sailor Moon fan, that sounds
yeah, you have to. I would definitely reach out to her, and y'all can make that happen because she is so cool. She's in Italy, so if y'all get the time right, I'm pretty sure she would love to come on the podcast and share her art. Her art is amazing. It is so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, my sleep schedule is all over the place, so I'm sure we could figure it out. But yeah, I guess after this, you can send me her info and I'll reach out because that sounds really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so outside of Sailor Moon, what's some of your? Oh wait, actually, I meant to ask this. Did you come up with Entanglement while the Jada and Will thing was going on, or did you have it before?
Oh, absolutely, because I'm hella messy. I was.
I love it.
I was like, it was like we have to name it, and I was like, well, you know what? That's trending right now, and I feel like that's something that people won't forget. So I was like, entanglement. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. And you instantly get it. It's like, oh, this is about to be messy.
Yeah. So I was like, this is it. I'm not gonna try to do something clever. I want people to know it is mess from the beginning to end, just messiness.
Yeah, I love it. So speaking, I guess not of that, but besides Sailor Moon, what's some of your other favorite anime?
Okay, so I like horror anime. So I'm not into like, you know, Dragon Ball Z or anything like that, but I like either really, you know, like high fem anime or horror. There's really not a middle for me.
Yeah.
So I like Dead Man Wonderland. I like well, I used to really love Inuyasha a lot. That was like my other thing when I was watching Sailor Moon, Blood Sea, you know, things like that. I also read like really interesting manga. I've been writing about manga a lot lately, which is interesting as well. So I mean, like so horror is it. Horror is the thing for me. So I don't know why, because I don't really like watching horror movies like that. But if it's a horror anime, I am all on it.
That is interesting. And do you like I think his name is Junji Ito? Have you read any of his work? I know that's been just like around like trending lately, I noticed. I've never heard of him before.
No,
recently.
What is it?
He's just like a really big manga creator, and he does a lot of horror manga, so you should probably check him out. I don't know, I've never read any of his work.
Wait a minute, did he write the book? I think I know that name. Did he? I think he read might have did a book. I believe it began with the letter R, and it came out around Christmas time. If that's the same person, then I think I know what you're talking about. But Little Shop of Horrors, Little Pets of Horrors is one that I'm thinking of that was really interesting. It was like a manga where like this really creepy person has this like pet shop, but the pets are actually like humans.
Oh, it was a scary twist.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of more like more of paranoia and than anything. And I'm trying to think of what else. I want to read this manga called, I think it's called Rasitsu or Rasetsu, and it's basically about she's like an exorcist, and she like has this obsession with like cupcakes, so she like eats cupcakes while like fighting ghosts and stuff like that.
That sounds amazing. I'm not a big horror fan. I do like what is it called, like psychological thrillers or like, yeah, I guess psychological thrillers like Get Out and stuff, but I'm just thinking like cupcakes and ghosts fighting, that sounds kind of fun. Like that'd be a good K-drama.
Yeah. Yes, I want to get into K-dramas. I feel like I will like them once I find one I want to start.
Yeah, I think you would too. You might like there's one on Netflix called It's Okay to Not Be Okay, and it kind of has some horror to it, but it's also really cute.
Okay.
Cute romance.
And also Alice in Murderland.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
That's pretty interesting. It's like this girl, she's in high school and she's like really wealthy, so it's kind of like Gossip Girl-ish, but then like she leaves school early to go back to with her family because her family summons her, and then like the king and the queen, they tell all their children that, you know, if you want to be the next leader of this family, you have to kill each other, and whoever is surviving will take over the family name. So they all plot to kill each other, and so they can have the throne.
Wow, that sounds really interesting too. I might have to get into some horror manga. I don't know, or anime.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's a
All
little strange, but it's really entertaining.
right. Yeah. No, I mean that's cool with me. I do like sci-fi and fantasy, and I like psychological thrillers. As long as it doesn't keep me up at night, we might be okay.
I definitely understand.
Yeah. What advice would you have for someone who wants to start a magazine or write a graphic novel or write a story in a graphic novel?
Okay, so for anybody who wants to do a magazine, you can do it. There are so many resources that makes it a lot easier. But if you can assemble a team, do it. You need a team that believes in the magazine just as much as you do, if not more. It's really hard to be a publisher as well as an editor and a layout artist and a graphic artist, and everything is, I mean, if you have to, of course you want to be able to know how everything functions because it's your magazine. You don't want to ever be like left out of the process. But if you can get a team who can help you, like even if you get like 3 or 4 people that are reliable, who wants to see you reach the end of the process from creation to publication, that is going to help you in the long run, because you really need someone to like bounce ideas off of, and a second pair of eyes never hurts.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
For graphic novel,
yeah.
I don't really know because this is my first one, but I would say one of the best advice that Fabrice gave me, and Chris, who is the co-editor at Fair Square Comics, gave me, is that you have to write in detail, but you have to be very precise, and you have to be straight to the point. So you need to be able to describe a scene and a story in a short sentence. And so every word counts, every character counts, and understand that the artist is is kind of like your coworker. The artist of a comic book is not your personal illustrator, so you can't tell them exactly what to illustrate. You have to just describe to them what you're trying to tell, what story you're trying to tell, and then they bring their creativity and they give you what you put on the paper. So that's something to keep in mind, because I think a lot of people think that artists are illustrators, like you just tell them what to do and they just draw it, but it's a collaboration.
I love that. I think that's really great advice. So you should definitely give yourself some props.
Oh, thank you.
And then you might remember at the end of every episode, Sailor Moon had the Sailor Moon Says phrase. So what would your phrase be? So Sailor Erika says.
Sailor Erika says, don't worry, be happy, be fruitful, and always be kind.
I love it. And it's so true and so important.
Yes, because you know what I've noticed, like being on social media and having like being on different spaces and even on Clubhouse, that the world is smaller than you think, and how you treat someone really goes a long way. There's no reason to be nasty or mean to people unless they actually deserve it. But for the most part, like just being who you are, being authentic, you don't have to be something that you're not, because someone's going to like you. And if you're not in community with everybody, that's okay. You don't have to be in community with everybody. Just do you, and the people that are drawn to you will be drawn to you because of who you are and not what you are.
I love it.
Thank you for having me. This has been so cool.
Yeah.
I've been dying to get on your show. I was like, oh my God, her show is so cool.
I am so
She's
happy.
such a great podcast host.
Thank you. No, this has been really fun. But before you go, just let me know what's next for you and where can people find you?
Okay, so you want to find me fabulizemag.com. So that's FABULIZEMAG.com. On Clubhouse, Miss Yummy Dread, MZYUMMYDREAD. Twitter, Miss Yummy Dread. Instagram, Fabulize Mag at Fabulize Mag. The magazine Twitter is at Fabulize Mag. On Facebook, My Superheroes Are Black. Community of like 4,000 or something people, which you participate in when you're not busy.
I do.
And what's next for me outside of the graphic novel and the magazine coming out? We're also doing a sci-fi graphic novel book club that I'm partnering with Sister Sci-Fi. So every month we do a book club meet up on Zoom where we kind of like discuss the graphic novel for the month, where basically the graphic novels we pick and choose are either written by Black women or centering Black women. So that's just about it. Yeah.
What's the February book?
The February book is a book by Roxanne Gay called
This is the Banks?
No, The Banks is coming later this year.
Okay.
That is a good book.
I haven't read it yet. It's been on my list, and I'm like, I need a reason to buy it. So if you want to give me one, but okay.
Look, that is a good book, and I feel like it's not enough. Not enough people are talking about it, so it's upsetting me and my homegirls because that is a good book. Like, it is really, really good. She has a lane of graphic novel writing. Like, the way she writes graphic novels for people who probably don't typically read graphic novels, so it's a little bit text heavy, but it's perfect if people like read books a lot. Like, they will love it. Like, I love it either way, but it's really cool. So sorry, I want to go on a tangent. The book we're going to start off with in February is The Sacrifice of Darkness. March, we're gonna do Nubia.
Ooh.
Yeah. So maybe like May or so we're gonna do The Banks, but The Banks is so good, girl. You gotta get that. It's a good ass graphic novel.
I just checked Comixology. It's on sale right now for like $1. So
get that.
I just
get
bought
that.
It. I just
get
bought
it, and we can talk about it because that is a good ass graphic novel. Like, that is Black girl magic with crime mixed all up in it. It is everything.
Love all those things. So I'm definitely probably gonna read it tonight. And The Sacrifice of Darkness, I think I'm going to get that too and join this book club because I've actually been trying to think of. I'm wanting to join a graphic novel book club, and this sounds perfect because I really love reading stuff by or about Black women specifically, or by or about Black people. So this is like all my jam.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll give you the information, and you can spread the word. It's definitely free. And we're definitely going to do a goodie bag for our first meetup. So yeah, I'll give you all the information and you can like share it. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. That's really cool. And can you repeat your Clubhouse how to find you on Clubhouse? I think it kind of broke out a little bit then.
Sure. I'm on Clubhouse. You can find me at Miss Yummy Dread, MZYUMMYDREAD, or you can just type in Fabulize Mag. You should be able to see me. And the name of the Clubhouse, just like Facebook, is called My Superheroes Are Black. We're on there talking about WandaVision. I'm about to watch WandaVision now. Yes. So that's what we're going to do. So again, thank you for this. Thank you, Sailor Moonies, for listening to me rant.
Yes, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Erika, for coming on the show once again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And once again, I'm Victoria L. Johnson, host of the Sailor Moon Fan Club podcast. You can find me at Miss Old School. It's Old School with a K on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find the podcast at Moonies Club on Twitter and Moonies_Club on Instagram. And we have merch now. If you want to get some merch, we're at mooniesclub.com. And be sure to check out Fabulize. And thanks again, Erika. I can't say it enough, but thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I love it. I love this podcast. I love you. Thank you.
I love you too.